Hello, everyone, and welcome to Marsh Bingo on the MarshStream. It's great to see you all here tonight. Um, Upcoming this week at the Marsh, we have Dawn Reads going out on Saturday and running Saturdays through the end of the month. And on July 30th, we'll have Dan Hoyle's show coming back as well. Welcome, everyone, and I'm excited to pass things over to the one, the only, the Mr. Josh Kornbluth.
Thank you, Caitlin. Hello, everybody. I gotta unspotlight myself. Okay, so it's a Friday. I know it's Friday. I'm gonna go further and say it's the 16th of July, 2022. Am I right about that? Or is it the 15th? No,
It is the 15th.
It's the 15th. So that means that it was only yesterday that people's heads were chopped off on Bastille Day. And then it seems like 2 days since then to here. And it's great to be here. It's great to see you, Caitlin. It's great to see you, Ellie. And I'm gonna sing this song I sing at the beginning of the thing that I do. Marsh Bingo, Marsh Bingo, Marsh Bingo, Marsh Bingo, Marsh Bingo, Marsh Bingo. I didn't really play that well. It was, I don't usually make a mistake in the chords because it's not like a ton of chords. It's not like Schoenberg or Berg or anything with Berg and things proceeding. It's a really simple song. I mean, it's not even like the Emerson, Lake and Palmer or the Electric Light Orchestra, which I would be strapped to. This is way before Caitlin's time. But anyhow, there's a guy, and he had a piano, and he's in a group, and then they strapped him into the piano bench, and then it would spin like around and around while he played it. It was, that's the kind of stuff that happened in the 70s. And no one really batted an eye. But anyhow, I'm not real happy with that rendition. So I'm gonna do it one more time. I'm gonna maybe do like an introduction first so that it's a little bit fancier. So imagine you're like walking along a beach in Paris, a Parisian beach on the Seine. Is the Seine in Paris? Seine pretty close to Paris? Okay. You're on a beach in Paris in the Seine and you're going past and people are sipping their little cappuccinos at the French cafes. And there's existentialists here and there's Marxists there. And there's Trotskyites who are wearing masks because very antisocial, according to my father. It's actually not true. That's a calumny. Trotskyists can be fine people. And all of these writers all along, and here we are strolling. In a way, let's say strolling to the barge on which we will this time imaginatively be playing this game of Marsh Bingo. You know, it'll be much like on the Mississippi, where people do the gambling, you know, and the gambling on those boats. It'll be like that. And you're greeted by someone wearing only Speedos. That's inappropriate. Then you go past and you sit down and then we prepare as a group. It's like a room filled with velvet and there are live frogs on little platforms, and they're ribbing, and that is the mood as we enter into this imaginative Parisian Marsh Bingo, and you hear music. Sounds like an accordion coming from somewhere else on the barge. And and you think it sounds like a beginner. But then gradually it gets more complex. Then you actually correct that thought. You say, it's not more complex. It's still really simple. It's just like doing the buttons along one row. But then and suddenly the barge starts moving. And an eagle flies in through a window in the ballroom on the barge. You think that's weird? I didn't know there were eagles in Paris. And then suddenly the lights dim and in comes a monkey wearing a bellhop's outfit, playing. Followed by me. And I say, hey, monkey, get out of here. And he goes, and runs out. He wasn't supposed to take I'm the player of it. The monkey goes back to the kitchen. And now, with the stars and the galaxies that have just been exposed back to almost to the Big Bang by the James Webb Telescope, sparkling at us and spraying gas and particles all around us in the universe, we loosen the top button of our cravat. I don't think cravats have buttons, but let's just go with it. You loosen the top button of your cravat, we all do, and we start to sing, Marsh Bingo, Marsh Bingo, Marsh Bingo, Marsh Bingo, Marsh Bingo, Marsh Bingo. And the monkey runs back in, grabs the accordion back from Josh, and he plays. And he goes, and he runs out. Later, we will all be served banana cream pie. That was better. I think you have to agree. You don't have to. I think that was better. I think I set more of a mood in that one. And now I feel like it's time, really, to begin playing Marsh Bingo. Here's game number 1. Ooh, I have to turn on a little chat thing so I can see little chat things and then little chat things. Game 1. That's amazing. What if I said game 12? What would happen?
I don't know. Maybe I'd write game 12.
Okay, I'm feeling a little frisky. Let's just keep it with game 1. Here we go. The very first bingo ball in this game for apparently, currently, a co-host, a bingo player, and an inanimate, sort of helmeted, masked, still object that are now participating in this game. For all of us and you, I tell you it is B11. B11. So if B11 is on your bingo card, well, really, you don't have to mark it. I mean, what's the, there's no compelling to do it. It's just if you want to. Sorry, I realized that for now a couple of years I've been coming off as pretty authoritarian. I've been saying, mark this stuff down. You do what you want to do. Do what feels right to you. Go with your own flow. Don't listen to me. I'm a crusty old guy. Just do your thing. Mark it or don't mark it. Eat with your ears. Put food into your ears instead of it's up to you. The second one is I-23. I-23. I-23, I-23. And the next one is I-20. 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 So Sarah and I, we had an encounter with an osprey, and it was a little on the scary side. So I'm gonna, not scary, but it was unusual. It was unexpected. There's a I-21. I-21. There's an osprey nest, as I have mentioned, on a platform by these two towers, like radio towers, when you bike along towards the Richmond Arena from Albany, well, from behind the Costco. Which is, by the way, where the Garden of Eden was, they discovered. It was just right there behind Costco, I-21. And there's an osprey nest, but it hasn't had any ospreys in it. And then we were there, but we stopped. And then usually we just sort of stop. We take pictures. Well, Sarah takes pictures. I look through my binoculars from a respectful distance. You know, it's across the water in its nest and the osprey. Anyhow, we're taking pictures. Sarah's taking pictures of the osprey nest. I'm looking at the osprey nest. And then this big male osprey, pretty sure is male, because he seemed male. And so anyhow, he flew out and he flew like right to where we were, like right over us, like, which can have been an accident. And he like flew and hovered, this big old osprey. It's really big. And then he started swooping in a semicircle and starting to go away. And he released several streams of poo at us, directly at us, taking into account the wind direction. Suddenly there was osprey poo coming at us. Sarah was focused on getting the picture. So, you know, I saw it happen. And it was really, it's hard not to take it as a message. I don't mean to anthropomorphize. Maybe that's the way ospreys express their love, but I don't think so. I don't think ospreys express their love by pooing on things, because it just seems to be like not that many other things would want to be loved by ospreys eventually. B-15, B-15. Yes, it was an osprey attack. It was, we were sprayed. And it was sort of like, you know, why? But I guess we look threatening, you know? Look threatening at the camera and the binoculars and 073. 073. So a lot of stuff has been going down. I missed today. Sarah went today and like everything happened because I wasn't there. And so I feel like I missed it, but she took a lot of pictures of it. But as I mentioned, we've been following these families. We've been following families in a little sort of inlet, sort of lake area, aquatic park in Berkeley. We've been following this family of stilts. 2 parent stilts, and we believe 4 baby stilts originally, little fluffy baby stilts. They got little tiny stilt legs, and they could walk around like that. You know, they could walk around like that because, you know, it's not that deep. And then they hang on this little island that comes out. And the father, we think it's father, the dad is very, very defensive. He's very protective. So is the mom. And they call out, but the father is, I think I talked about previously, he buzzed like when 066, when a snowy egret came by, just like loping by, buzzed. The dad flew into the egret's head, and the thing is that for me, if a bird did that to me, like I consider the poo thing to be slightly ambiguous, but if some bird flies into my head, I'm going to have to say for sure they don't want me there. And so they have to protect this whole area, the adults, for these little, there were four, and then we think one possibly was consumed by a bird, but now there are three, and we're very, and it's just super dramatic. It's super dramatic because it seems like they're in danger all the time. And it makes you start to think that maybe there are other parts of nature that are also endangered currently, other than this little family of stilts, like maybe billions and billions and billions of living things. And we can't protect all of them, but it would be helpful if we stop killing them. I think that would be a start. We, humans. I-18, 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 I-18. And 35, and 35, and 35. Wait, I saw something, someone write up a pelican. What, how did I, so sorry, so, whoa, I was getting a lot, whoa. Oh, there's a whole, whoa. Taking a break to spend a little time with my dog, who had a rather traumatic, Lisa, what? Day yesterday, he broke he broke two toenails down at the paw, and we were at the vet emergency room, and that was painful. Was that very painful? It sounds incredibly painful. Oh, that poor dog. I'm very sorry. Here I am, casually speaking about being nearly shat upon by a raptor, and there you are with your companion there, having gone through this traumatic thing, whereas being sprayed by poo is nothing compared to, wow, I am very sorry to hear that. Also, Sarah says we saw pelicans last weekend at the Hayward shoreline. It's very cool. Very cool. It's very cool, Sarah. That's pelicans are kind of my running favorite, even though green herons are kind of, they're up there. But there's so many pelicans around Richmond, the Richmond Marina, whatever. And they fly really low, and they look like dinosaurs, and they're big, and they don't seem real. They seem like something that Pixar hired a whole new group of artists who were even better than the previous artists, and Pixar made up like the coolest looking dinosaur bird, and then populated the sky with them and the water with them there. And 40, and 40, and 40. I'm just going to break out of this narrative for a second, even though I realize it's very suspenseful. But I just saw, like, before we came on air, if you can call that coming on air, before we started, I saw just a little thing. It's just a little thing about Ivana Trump, Donald Trump's ex-wife, who died. It was announced yesterday, but then I saw things saying she died from, I don't know why I'm sharing this. It just sort of seemed weird, and I didn't. Anyhow, it said she died from something like unplanned blunt trauma, or something blunt trauma. I don't know. Have you seen that? Has anyone else picked up on the news of? Because I started to think, the Trump people, and they're so evil, and maybe anyhow. I don't feel particularly close to Ivana Trump or any of the Trumps in 45, except Mary Trump, the cousin of Donald Trump, who is awesome. And 45, and 45, and 45, and 45. So anyhow, yeah, the pelicans are great. And then you think like, well, there can be nothing better than these pelicans, these brown pelicans. They're just amazing. And then you go around the corner, maybe you go a little further north on your bicycle and you into this little cove thing. And then you see, holy camole, you see white pelicans. And white pelicans are like 3 times the size of the brown pelicans. And they're just even more, it's crazy. It's just crazy. You want them to run things. They just are that grand. I'm not sure if there are other kinds of pelicans. I think I may have mentioned that until we started birding, I realized that in my head, my whole life, I mixed up pelicans and storks. So I saw pelicans bring the babies with a little thing. So I've learned a lot. I feel like I've really come a long way. I-22, 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 I-22. But then we keep running into, I've told you guys about the weird picnic table. Pretty sure I have. The weird picnic table turns out has magical properties. It attracts clearly some really cool birds, including ones we've been following, kites, green herons. Also, an old man who never wears a shirt and sleeps on the bench and sometimes smokes weed. So all of those animals are drawn to the magic of this place. And there are there's seagulls, whatever. 070, 070, 070. And we've been seeing more and more green herons just hanging out, but it never occurred to me that there were baby green herons around. And then Sarah saw a green heron fly into a tree today, and she used her camera's super duper lens, and there was a nest with baby green herons. And green herons are the most beautiful things. And then these are the most beautiful things, but they're little and they're fluffy. And I wasn't there. It's just amazing. So we keep like adding new families. We have our family of kites who are fledging. We have the stilts who are sort of doing their own kind of fledging. They're swimming further out and swimming further out. And then we have this sort of maybe a communal family, sort of hippie family of scatological ospreys that will one day warm up to us. I-27, I-27, I-27. Not even getting into the Clark's grebes, which look like they're from the 50s. They got flat tops. They just they just asked for a milkshake and then they flew away. The Clark's grebes. They look amazing. G51, G51, G51. Then there are these pigeons around, and it's sort of weird because we don't care. So we've seen pigeons, like we've been around pigeons our whole life. Those pigeons. And you get this feeling like they see us really focusing on the other birds. And it's kind of this thing like, oh, what about us, you know? And then they sort of droop a little bit, as pigeons will do. Pigeons are technically rock doves, I've learned. They're actually rock doves. But anyhow, they'll sort of droop and they'll go, no, this is our lot. This is our lot in life, is that people are more interested in these flamboyant birds, these other birds that don't, super populate cities and stuff. And that's just the way we pigeons are going to be treated. And I have to say, today, a little bit, I've been feeling like that. B5, B5, B5. And 41, and 41, and 41. There's also, by the Albany bulb, sitting on a rock quite frequently, there's a chipmunk that's like an old mariner. And the chipmunk, we're looking from the path behind. So the chipmunk has his back to us. He's looking away from us out at the water where all the birds are going down. And the chipmunk is just standing there like the old mariner. He's like, look at the life, all of the life that's out there. And I'm here. And look at that life. And he doesn't move. Well, he must move because sometimes he's not there. 063, 063, 063. I-26, I-26. 26. Really sorry about your poor dog, Lisa. Whoa, emergency room. Oh, no, that's not, no, that's not right. G48, 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 G48. Oh, 72. Oh, 72. Until we fumigated, we had, we're not allowed to have pets, but we had silverfish for a few years. We lift up a plate and there'd be like a pet silverfish, but it's not the same as like a panda. I'm being centrist. I'm centering my own species and my own whatever mammals are. I did see a thing in the paper, well, not the paper, but I saw a thing online that said that they've proven for real, it was in like r/science subreddit, that insects feel pain. And insects feel pain. It really kind of makes you think. 075, 075, 075. I'm not saying I feel hopeless about the world. I can't feel hopeless about the world, but I feel down. I feel down. There's much more terribleness that seems to be happening than goodness in our country and in the world. There's much more of the hatefulness than the lovosity that's happening in the world. And I'm pretty sure I've learned that I personally cannot change that completely. N33, N33, N33. I think I really miss telling stories. I mean, these are sort of stories, but I don't know if you noticed, they're not really that structured, the stories that I tell you guys here. I mean, like as a performer, like making up a story, a piece, and then repeating it. That's my way of, that's what I do. And I haven't done that for audiences since the pandemic started. Like almost every other person in theater. But G47, G47. But it feels like I haven't been me for that long. I've been like approximating me sometimes. Sometimes I'm way off from me. Today I feel like a full me from which the substance has been removed. And what is speaking to you is the exoskeleton. Doesn't totally work because an exoskeleton wouldn't be able to do this that I know of. You know what I mean. 064, 064. Write this show letters from my father, Angela says. Okay, cool. Oh, Lisa, so you had the vets were really kind and loving. That's cool. Thank you, Dick and Rachel. Thank you. 064. I think maybe we're all feeling kind of, do you feel that way at all? Those of you who are animate, have you felt it all like, wow, it's been a long time? Anyhow, I felt it. It didn't help that I started reading Primo Levi's book about his experiences at Auschwitz. It was a bad week to start that book. Puts things in perspective. Unbelievable writing. But it also reinforces the idea of that there's no end to the evil that's possible. There's no end. B14, B14, B14. And I saw a thing on a subreddit. I should stop going on subreddits. I don't even know if there's like a Reddit beneath which are subreddits, because I've been living in the world of subreddits. I think maybe it's like if I joined Scientology and rose to the level of where I'd for the planet Gargan, that maybe I would be at the level of Reddit and super Reddit. But on the subreddit, this guy showed a video of this super church, huge church of evangelists, and they're taking this pledge following this minister guy. And the pledge is about how they are promising that they're going to make America essentially an all-white, all-Christian country. They'll dissolve the Congress. If necessary, they'll kill people with guns. You can't help but look at that and think, that's worrisome. G58, G58, G58. Oh, I'll show you something. So it's not something I usually do. Just in case you think I'm like broke, I've been clearing out the storage units downstairs in our building. And I found this envelope from when my son was when he was in elementary school. It was in an envelope that was sealed, and on it, it said, "Your lunch money." And it was sealed. It had never been opened. And in it were $2, which is weird because, our son and his classmates all would typically eat lunch at Chez Panisse. So that seems like not enough money. Nonetheless, found this. And he was just not, I'm going to give it to him. And I hope he doesn't ask for interest. But this is his lunch money. This is his lunch money from when he was a babyish. Not a baby, no, he's a big boy. I-28. I-28. I think also going through the storage units is not very good for my state of mind. It's good having completed it. But going through it, I'm going back through the strata of my life. And it's actually like from blessing to blessing, really. So that's great. Except I feel like with the notable exception of my family, that I blew it. Like I blew off. So it's like, oh, wow, that almost became this and that almost became that. So it's been. G60. It also reinforces how much my mom, is in a nursing home in Chicago. But my mom, I really had sort of lost track of how much she corresponded with me over the years. From like camp, I was in summer camp, from camp, but then through college, then through being a journalist in Chicago and Boston, and then anyhow, continuing on and on into after we got married and had our little baby and stuff. And my mom was always sending me stuff, and it's I'm going through it now, and it's I mean, she wasn't that warm, but she always thought of me and sent stuff. And they were in pretty envelopes, different colors. And the return address was usually placed like Kornbluth Industries or Kornbluth and Company, because at some point I realized because she was sending them from work. So she put them out in the thing and then it would be here. And 32, and 32, and 32. Oh, 71. Oh, 71. Oh, 71. And I saw a little video with Jonathan Katz. I don't know if you know Jonathan Katz. He's a great comedian. And I saw a video of him, and like me, he has gotten older, and that sort of bummed me out. He's gotten older. He has a cane and stuff. Jonathan Katz. If you ever get to see old videos of Jonathan Katz, he's really cool. I'm going to try to recreate a Jonathan Katz joke from a David Mamet film. He and David Mamet are really good friends. I-17. Okay, so he's in a nightclub, he's performing. He says, folks, since I've been single again, I think I've been, during that time I was married, I think I lost some of my, single instincts. For example, met this party and this lovely woman comes up to me and she said, can you give me a ride home? And my response was, well, if you knew you weren't bringing a vehicle, you should have made alternative plans already. So it's a really good joke when he does it. It's really good. It's really good. Oh, 62. Oh, 62. Oh, 62.
It looks like we've got a bingo in the chat.
Lisa, is it, I think a recuperating dog must be a good luck charm. Congratulations.
Thank you. We have Dialingo.
Dialingo. So you have a bingo that goes diagonally?
Absolutely. Yeah, poor Mr. Bell. Those, I guess the doggy nails, they're not like people nails. You've got a blood vessels that go through them, so that when they break them, it's really painful. And
I do know, I haven't had a dog yet, but when I had a cat named Benny, and then when I had to trim his nails, you would see the little blood thing, like the little blood vessel, go out into the claw.
Right.
And Benny thought I didn't see that when I was trimming his nails. And he really didn't like it because it would be incredibly painful. I'm so sorry that happened.
And he's just at the end of recovering from tearing his doggy ACL, and he had to have surgery for that 8 weeks ago.
Was he trying to dunk a basketball?
You'd think so. No, he was just running around with his buddies, and it just, I guess it's a degenerative thing. But what they do is they don't fix the ACL. What they do is they go in there and they cut the bone and rearrange the geometry of the leg and then pin it. And so they don't need the ACL. I don't know.
Do you think in rearranging the geometry that could have led unexpectedly to the breakage of the nails claws?
I don't think so. I think that was just, he was showing off for one of his doggy friends on our evening walk last night, and started kind of pawing the earth like a bull, and just forgot that he wasn't on earth, he was on concrete. And, that's I really feel that. I feel that. Yeah, that's really getting to me. I am so happy. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm getting compensatory cat from Craig. I promise, cat, I promise I won't clip your nails. Oh, that's a very cute neck. So anyhow, I am so sorry to hear. I'm glad your dog is on the mend. I'm glad that you won bingo in a Dialingo. I trust you as much as I trust UNESCO. Nonetheless, as I would ask UNESCO, I must ask you to tell me what those winning bingo numbers are so I can double check it. I will, but before I do, I just wanted to point out that if you do write the letters from my father show, it is not a one-man show. We have all gone through this with you. It's been a wonderful journey, but I don't think I don't know that you would have had the same experience just reading the letters that we all shared together, and that I really treasure from this time of COVID with you.
Well, thank you. No, that means a huge amount to me. And the thing is, to me, when I think about it, I think the point of it was reading them for the first time with you guys.
Yeah.
Over Zoom.
that the incredible intimacy combined with the enforced distance of space and time, you know, that's what was the thing. So I don't know if I did it as a show, if it would like work like that or something. I don't know.
You might have to have some of us kind of like planted in the audience making comments as you go along. Anyway, my dialingo, just to not put you on the spot too much here, is B11,
Yes.
I-20,
Yes.
3,
Yes.
then I've got G60 and O62.
What was the G?
G is a 60, 60.
Oh, 60, and then 62. Yes, you have dialingo, you have won, you have bingoed. But I think in a sense, just seeing you pet your dear friend there, I think we're all winners. And unfortunately, only you will get a prize. And that
By
prize.
the way, Wyatt was very sorry. Oh, I'm not over at Wyatt's right now, but he really enjoyed providing the virtual prizes the one time he was on, and then the next week he wanted me to come out too, but the whole family got COVID. They're all fine now, but they it's been a rough time, yeah. But he's okay.
Wow. Okay. A lot of compassion going out there.
Thank you.
I wish that I could give all of you a lot more than what you're going to get, but I'm really happy that you're about to get what you're going to get from Caitlin. Caitlin?
All right. Congratulations, Lisa. Tonight you are the winner of a Ruby membership. So that's a general admission annual pass for one. It includes perks such as invitations to members-only events, priority tickets for special events, post-show receptions, talkbacks, and so much more. And Lisa, congratulations again, and really hoping for your dog's speedy recovery.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody. And tomorrow I'll be making, just so you know, Instapot zucchini soup. Summer zucchini soup.
I got, you know, I care for you very much, but I have to say in all honesty, because I feel that we developed a relationship that demands honesty. I'm not a fan of zucchini. I know I'm not eating it. Not a fan of zucchini. It seems like a slimy thing to me that is meant to make me sad.
Well,
but
Josh,
I bet the way you make it is really nice.
I've agreed with you in the past, but I've figured out how to. You're gonna have to. That's a challenge. I'm gonna have to send you some zucchini soup because it's not that at all. So I figured out. I conquered the slimy zucchini, I believe.
You know, a little bit earlier, I was saying that I wasn't feeling as hopeful about the future as maybe I would like to be, but I think you started to turn that around for me. Lisa, if you can make zucchini something that doesn't make me gag, then I think there's hope for peace on earth. I really do.
Excellent. Okay, I agree, and that's one of the reasons that I tune in, Josh, because sometimes I just want to get bingo so I can cheer you up.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Here, I'm gonna before we start the next game, I feel like I've been kind of bringing you guys down a little bit, not through anything I've said, but rather through everything I've said. And so I want to make up a quick song saying, I'm sorry if I brought you down. I'll try not to do it again. But what am I saying? Of course I'll bring you down again. I'll bring you down tons of times, and then I'll laugh about it because I'm evil. No, disregard that last part. I want you all to be happy. From Hawaii to Socrates. If I were more flexible, I'd get on my knees and thank the Lord that I've had you in my life during this time of strife. Also, I want to be really rich. Want to make a lot of money. Want to make a lot of money and seal myself away in a tower. No, no, that is not true. True. Disregard that part too. And remember this. I want you to be happy. I won't stop doing bingo till we're all happy. And on that day when we're all happy and the dog will have healed and we'll all share a zucchini Instapot meal.
Josh, I have one response to that. I wrote
No?
this very, very short poem the other day, and this is for you. I didn't realize how much joy I kept prisoner inside my body until it found a way to escape and surround me.
That's gorgeous.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's perfect.
We love you, Josh.
Oh.
Mr. Bell, too. Mr. Bell?
Well, maybe, I don't know, maybe with like some tomato sauce, you know, that's what I would taste more than the zucchini. I leave it to you. I leave it to you. You're
Leave
the
it
cook.
to me. No tomato sauce. It's gonna be slimy. No, no.
But if you drown anything in tomato sauce, yeah, I'm probably gonna like it. I'm totally leaving it up to you. Okay. Because you guys keep interrupting me, I'm gonna have to hurry now to get in game 2. This is bingo game number 2. I feel much happier now, by the way, you guys. I feel much happier. And I wouldn't have if I hadn't been hanging out with you. N37. N37. G53. G53. N40. N40. You know, when I go up to heaven eventually and I'm at the pearly gates and I meet St. Peter, and it turns out St. Peter is an osprey, I think what St. Peter will tell me is, no, actually, we put on people we like. And that'll just send me right into heaven on a high note. G56. 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 O68. 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 B6. 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 Hi, Laura. 073. 073. 073. And 35. And 35. And 35. I think the impulse to show off for the other dogs by doing this thing, I mean, I totally understand. I hope he doesn't feel like foolish or guilty. I think any of us would have pawed the ground to impress. not realizing it was incredibly hard. Oh, 69. Oh, 69. Oh, 69. Oh, 69. E1. 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 I-21. I-21. N45. B12. B12. I-17. 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 I've been developing this rasp in my voice for to try to prepare for my one-person show playing Brenda Vaccaro. She was an actress who was from when I was younger, very husky voice. So I've been doing a lot of things to do that, and other things preparing to be Brenda Vaccaro that I'm not doing for you guys right now. But believe me, it's a holistic thing. One-person show, Brenda Vaccaro. It's about her fictional affair with the author Robert Caro. Robert Caro, who wrote The Power Brokers. So it's about Brenda Vaccaro having a love affair with Robert Caro. He was drawn to the huskiness in her voice, and so that's why it's cute. N43. N43. I-27. I-27. I mean, I kind of liked Brenda Vaccaro when I was a kid. I don't know if that applies to anybody else. She was pretty cool. I mean, you know. I-19. 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 I-30. I-30. I'm thinking now, and I could be wrong, but my brain is telling me that Brenda Vaccaro is in Midnight Cowboy. And I think I might be right. She might be the older woman who plays a game of Scrabble with John Voight. Just put that out there. B14. 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 E5. E5. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, Josh, if you're making your voice all husky and hoarse, you know, why not go for someone else? You know, maybe someone more current. I just don't know who has a husky voice currently. I'm out of the loop. I-22. 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 Doja Cat? There's someone named Doja Cat. I don't know if she has a husky voice. Okay, we've had a great suggestion, Scarlett Johansson. I think I'm gonna weigh whether to take the prep work I've been doing to play Brenda Vaccaro, instead play Scarlett Johansson, but she does have a husky voice. I don't want to waste it. 071, 071, 071. G50, G50. Oh, Laura. Yes, it wasn't Harry Nilsson. Everybody's talking at me. I can't hear a word they're saying. Only the shadows of my mind. Awesome song. Sung by Harry Nilsson on the soundtrack, but not one of the songs that Harry Nilsson wrote for the soundtrack. Also, it was a movie written by a screenwriter who was formerly blacklisted for many years for being a suspected communist. Also, not that I focus on things about people who are communists. G50, 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 G50. I-26, I-26. We've been watching these shows from England that are on something. Portrait Artist of the Year and then Landscape Artist of the Year. They're British and they're really cool. They go around Britain, like in the landscape one we're watching now, they go around Britain to famous like estates owned by the Rothschilds. And then they invite these painters in to paint them and then they pick their favorite. And it sort of goes up like that. But when you see them talking to each other and the host talking to them, you realize that the British people speak almost a completely different language from us. They say, oh yes, I have some chars in my berry, and then they laugh. Because they're both from that part of the Chelsea neighborhood. It's very, very specific. It's very cool. B3, B3, B3. G48, G48. It's really cool. They give them 4 hours to paint the landscape. And then they all have all these different styles, and some are amateurs, some are professional artists. And it's super cool. If you enter that show, which seems unlikely because it happened in the past and was in England, but if you do, and you have a choice, don't do printmaking, because doing printmaking outside without electricity, just don't do it. It just, even though a printmaker won one of the rounds, don't do it. It's too hard. G58, 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 G58. I-20, I-20, 20. Oh, 64. Oh, 64. I am going to perform in a couple of weeks. I moved it back a weekend. I am going to perform in Berkeley in the backyard of a neighbor. So I'll let you guys know about that next week.
It looks like we've got a bingo in the chat.
Sarah, is it true? Or have you
Again.
prematurely bingulated?
Nope, I got it. It's across, diagonal.
Another Diagolingo.
Yep.
Well, that's fantastic, Sarah. Sarah, could you just read them aloud to me, because I don't trust my eyes
Okay.
when it comes to truth.
B1,
Yes.
I-30, free space,
Yes.
S50, and H64.
Yes.
Or O64, sorry.
Okay.
I'm
Oh, no,
reading the Marsh instead of the bingo. Sorry.
So, do you see there was like a mysterious magical being that just slid by me?
Yes. No, it's graceful. I think everyone will think it's graceful. Okay, cool. Anyhow, congratulations, Sarah. You have won
Thank you.
bingo, and you deserve it more than words can say. And as a result, you're going to get this thing now that Caitlin's going to tell you about. Caitlin?
All right, Sarah, this week your prize is a gold membership since you won the second bingo game. So that's a general admission annual pass for 2. And it's got all the same perks as I mentioned earlier in the night. And I've messaged you in the chat with instructions for how to redeem your prize when you are ready to do so. Congratulations again on your win.
Sarah, I know your mind is racing. You're thinking, my God, I've won a membership to the Marsh. This is going to change my life. And what I just say is just try to take it easy, because it can be very exciting at first and you can get overstimulated. So just a little bit of advice. Speaking of overstimulation, I actually didn't have something to follow that transition, speaking of overstimulation. And everything that I'm thinking of that could justify me saying, speaking of overstimulation, are things that I really don't want to do right now. So instead, I'm going to pick up the accordion. Speaking of overstimulation. It's not always easy to pick up an accordion. You have to get the accordion to trust you. You have to dress nice. And then you have to strap it on yourself. Everyone, are we ready to sing together? I take that, your nods, as a yes.
Yes.
And we're going to sing a little song that goes like this. Marsh bingo, marsh bingo, marsh bingo, marsh bingo, marsh bingo. One more time for the healing of all of nature's beings, specifically this one dog that broke some nails. Claws, nails. Marsh bingo, marsh bingo, marsh bingo, marsh bingo, marsh bingo. Thanks, everybody. Take care of yourselves.
Bye.
Make sure to douse everything with tomato sauce, and I'll see you in a week. Bye. And I mean everything.